Welcome to our midweek worship with Bismarck United Church of Christ. It is such a blessing to gather with you. Thank you for taking time out of your week to realign yourself with God and to just be present with one another. Tonight, we are in the middle of September. It's already September 9th, and as we're looking about us at September, we've seen changed weather patterns, we've seen shorter days, we've seen cooler weather, less sunshine, different routines than there were in the summer months. And sometimes with all that change, plus layered on top of all of the change that we have seen and continue to live through during this pandemic, our care of our mental health in the care of our neighbors and those close to us, we have to pay even more attention to that. Paying attention to how we are on the inside, how we are acting with each other, where our souls are, where our hearts are, where our mental and emotional health is. And so tonight, we're going to hear an update from Terry with Lutheran Social Services of North Dakota in a project called Project Renew. This project is being offered across North Dakota and has been helping people in all different contexts with helping to be healthier with their mental health, helping to find themselves and live fully into who they are, helping each other live into the best parts of themselves, live as who they were created to be, is part of how we love each other. Before we hear from Terry tonight, we have a reading from Micah. Micah chapter 6, verses 6 through 8. We've been reading from the Inclusive Bible. And so this is Micah chapter 6, verses 6 through 8. Hear these words. What shall I bring when I come before Yahweh and bow down before God on high, you ask? Am I to come before God with burnt offerings, with year-old calves? Will Yahweh be placated by thousands of rams or 10,000 rivers of oil? Should I offer my firstborn for my wrongdoings, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? Listen here, mortal. God has already made abundantly clear what good is and what Yahweh needs from you. Simply do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with your God. Here ends our reading. Simply do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with your God. There are times in our lives when we are ready to do that. We have the energy to do that. We are ready and fully present and ready to be all that we are. And there are other times in our lives when we need support to do that. Support to walk humbly with our God. Support to live with kindness and justice. And there is so much support out there. Support for you. Support for me, support for our neighbors, support for all of those across North Dakota. So let us hear an update from Terry on Project Renew, one of the ways we support each other.
Hi, my name is Terry Sunstecken-Burns, and I work for Lutheran Social Services. One of my primary roles right now is acting as team lead for Project Renew, which is a collaboration between the state of North Dakota and Lutheran Social Services, providing free, confidential crisis counselling to anyone who's been impacted in any way by COVID, physically, emotionally, financially, or all of the above. We've all been impacted by COVID-19 in one way or another. Our lives have changed in ways that we could never have seen coming, and now we're trying to find our way through this new environment. We've had to deal with financial stress, isolation, fears for ourselves and for loved ones, concerns about job security, and if you've spent any time at all on the internet, a lot of negativity. We're all grieving in our own ways, grieving the loss of a person, the loss of an event, the loss of togetherness, a job, normality. We have had to learn how to parent and work simultaneously, to visit our family members through windows, and learned how to live virtually, bringing our families along with us. In 2019, Nikita Valerio went viral for tweeting, "Shouting self-care at people who actually need community care is how we fail people." And it's a sentence I've carried with me through this work. At LSS, we talk a lot about love your neighbour, and we are called to action by Micah 6:8. We're called to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. Project Renew is giving us the opportunity to love our neighbour by being there for them in these entirely unprecedented times. We're walking humbly with them through their journey, and we are acting to fill need where we see it. In the coming weeks, we have virtual events scheduled for new and expectant parents, for people who are at risk due to underlying health conditions, and for people who have experienced loss. We're working with schools to support their staff, in addition to offering our individual telephone crisis counselling, as well as group counselling sessions and educational sessions. Community care means showing up. It means when you find yourself able to give more than you need to receive, you do so. That might mean talking to a friend who needs comfort, dropping groceries off at a neighbour, supporting a local business, or advocating for communities that you're part of. At different times over the last few months, I'm sure most of you have found yourself doing some or all of these, and it's never been more important. And sometimes community care means knowing when it's time to ask for more help. So how can you help? You help by loving your neighbour and watching for signs that the people in your life might need more help. They might be isolating or withdrawing, crying more easily, experiencing irritability or anxiety or guilt. They might be having difficulty concentrating or having difficulty making decisions or be very preoccupied with the impacts COVID is having. They might be experiencing physical symptoms like headaches or nausea or fatigue. If you see these in people that you love, encourage them to seek out connections and to seek out further help from places like Project Renew. You can also help by monitoring yourself for these symptoms and for signs of compassion fatigue. Compassion fatigue is most commonly seen in helping professions, people like nurses, doctors, police officers, social workers, etc. It occurs when you are exposed to prolonged trauma and suffering, and it results in a gradual lessening of compassion for others and for yourself. You might see symptoms like sleep problems, headaches, muscle tension, forgetfulness, anger, anxiety, having a crisis of faith, or seeing an increase in cynicism. For these symptoms, reach out. We're here and we're listening. Project Renew can be reached by phone at 701-223-1510 or by email at renew@lssnd.org. We have access to translators, and our staff are trained in adaptive technology for deaf and hard of hearing clients. Our team come from a variety of professional backgrounds, with everything from early childhood development all the way through mental health counselling. Our services are entirely free, and they are available to everyone. There's so much divisiveness in the world right now, and our hope is that Project Renew can do something towards repairing that. Spread the word. Tell your friends help is available, and above all else, love your neighbour.
Thank you, Terry, for sharing with us tonight. And I ask each of you to love one another. Watch out for each other during this time. The layers of stress and the ways that we have had to live and be separated from each other throughout the pandemic, and the layered on of winter and isolation that sometimes brings, can be really difficult on each of us and on those we love, and on people we may not have even met yet. So watch out for each other, care for each other, love one another, offer support to one another, and offer to help each other find support when support is needed. Together, we can be there for each other, and the supports are present to care for one another. Before we end tonight's service, we offer this song. This song was written by our own member, Chris Lennon, and she wrote it for the anniversary of LSS. It's called Like a Dove. May it be a gift to you, and may you be a gift to each other.